The book Last Shot, the comic Double or Nothing, and of course Solo: A Star Wars Story will begin telling us the canon history of Lando Calrissian. As we learn more about the famous gambler, I thought it would be fun to explore what came before, so today we'll be covering his entire history in Star Wars Legends. Lando Calrissian was from the planet Socorro, but his early years are very ambiguous thanks to Lando's penchant for exaggeration and fabrication. It seems that he had a stable and loving family life. By the age of 17, he had tried a number of career paths, including smuggler, mercenary, and con artist, but he was most gifted as a gambler at the sabacc tables. When he was 27, he won the Millennium Falcon in a game, but realized he had no idea how to pilot. So he sought out a man named Han Solo on Nar Shaddaa, who he heard would be able to teach him. The two became friends during the lessons, but Han also came to fall in love with the ship. After learning to fly, Lando headed off for a sector of space known as the Centrality. There he continued to gamble and get into trouble, winning a droid named Vuffy Raw, who he allowed to pilot the Falcon around. On one of their adventures, they ran afoul of a sorcerer named Rokur Gepta, who began to chase them throughout the sector to exact revenge. But the pair eventually killed him and returned to Nar Shaddaa, where Lando bought a used starship lot. Shortly after, he entered a sabacc tournament on Cloud City where he faced his old friend Han in the final round. Lando gambled any ship in his lot in the game, and when Han won, he requested the Millennium Falcon, which was technically parked there. Lando was frustrated but agreed to the terms and remained friendly with Solo. Not long after, Han offered Lando a chance to make a large sum of money helping the Rebel Alliance end the Hutt slave trade on a planet called Elysia. The Alliance hired a number of smugglers to help and promised them any treasures they recovered during the raid. But the rebels betrayed the smugglers and kept the valuables for themselves. Since Han set up the job, Lando and the rest of the smugglers assumed Han was in on the betrayal and blamed him. Not long after, Lando began working as a freighter in the Tanev system. He was present when a pirate fleet attacked, and after witnessing the ineptitude of the pirates and the planetary defense fleet, he made a wager for a brewery that he could defeat the pirates. He did exactly that by luring the attackers into a trap of nets that could disable the ships. The pirates were captured, and Lando came to own a brewery. 1 year later, Lando returned to Cloud City to gamble in the many casinos located there. He eventually played a game of sabacc against the Baron Administrator of the city. An unknown benefactor gave him a large sum of credits to play with, and he wound up winning the title of Baron Administrator. He later learned that Lobot and a number of Ugnaughts had pooled their money together to get Lando into the game and remove the former administrator from the position. After successfully managing Cloud City for a year, Darth Vader showed up and forced him to set a trap for his old frenemy Han Solo. While he hated betraying the man, the lives of every one of his citizens were at stake. Solo was captured, but Vader continued altering the terms of their agreement, eventually leading Lando to try and help save Han and fight against the stormtroopers there. He ordered the evacuation of his city and escaped with Leia, Chewbacca, and Luke Skywalker aboard his old ship. Lando spent the following year working with the Rebel Alliance to help rescue Han from Jabba the Hutt. He chased the bounty hunter Boba Fett across the galaxy and wound up having to fight against the criminal syndicate Black Sun. He was personally responsible for the destruction of Prince Xizor's palace on Coruscant. Eventually, he infiltrated Jabba's palace and was instrumental in saving Solo. They all returned to the Rebel Alliance, and Lando led the naval attack against the second Death Star, piloting the Falcon into the superweapon to destroy its main reactor. He continued serving the Alliance as it transitioned into the New Republic when he was needed, but was more interested in his various business ventures. Near the end of the Galactic Civil War, he fell in love with and married a woman named Tindra Razant. As the Yuuzhan Vong War began, he and Tindra started a weapons company and developed the YVH-1 battle droids for the New Republic to use against the invaders. Their company survived through the war as the New Republic became the Galactic Alliance. Lando and his wife helped their friends during the Dark Nest Crisis, the Swarm War, and the Second Galactic Civil War until Tindra became pregnant with their son, who they named Lando Calrissian Jr. Lando still helped his friends when he could, but spent most of the rest of his life focused on his family. Similar to Han Solo, the last time we see Lando in Star Wars Legends is at the age of 76 in the book Crucible. As far as we know, he lived comfortably until he died of old age. It'll be interesting to compare Lando's life as it continues to be explored in the new canon. There are already a number of similarities, like his fondness for a droid co-pilot on the Falcon, or his habit of exploring a great number of shady business opportunities. The book Last Shot even shows that he owns a droid manufacturing company. I'll be excited to continue exploring and expanding upon his story. I especially hope to see him appear in more content set after Return of the Jedi. But that's it for today. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and consider checking out my Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.